All right, we are live. Greetings, fellow traders. Let me get this tweeted out so everybody can join in here. 1 second. All right, awesome, awesome, awesome. Good, good, good. Let me just make sure the sound's coming through okay here. 1 sec. Good, looks good. All right, awesome. So, hope everybody had a great trading day today. And so, happy Thursday. Tomorrow is Friday. So, thank goodness for that. So, it is Friday. So, keep in mind, keep an eye, if you're looking, especially at the end of the day, or if you don't like the Friday momentum, consider trading next week's options, right? Because nobody likes to get assigned either, unless it's part of your trading plan. Anyway, so today we're going to be talking about day trading reversals. And today we're going to be talking about inside candles. Before we get started, though, everything we're going to talk about is for educational purposes only and not investment advice. So please take a moment to review this disclaimer. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Good, good, good. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to get started. We're going to take a look and see where we left off the market today, and then we're going to take a look at the futures and see what we might have going on into the evening and possibly into tomorrow, and then we'll take a look at the topic, and then we'll go through questions and chart requests. So let's get started. All right, so here we are. SPX finished up 5 points today. And it was a brutal 5 points. It was a lot of back and forth today, but there was some fun moves today, so that was good. Monthly chart still green, looking strong here. Over the upper Bollinger Band, right? Weekly chart, one more day left in the week. Let's see where that takes us here. We do have an open gap, recent open gaps below on the weekly chart, so watch out for that for possible gravitational pulls to the downside. The RSI is starting to get up there now. It's getting a little bit close there to the 70 line, right? It's starting to get to that oversold area. Of course, it could stay oversold for a while, right? You saw this happen here for multiple weeks, right? Before it eventually started to pull back and then really pulled back here off of the Corona crash. So we've got that going on right here. The daily chart, Doji day. So we just talked about Doji reversals yesterday. So this actually isn't a horrible day for a potential reversal. Obviously, we'll wait for confirmation on this one. But it was interesting, right? We had a gap up, right? We had a move down, we had a push up, right? And it was a pretty wild day today, so we'll see how that goes. So the big news today, right, was Powell talking this morning before the market opened at Jackson Hole virtually, right, through Zoom or whatever they use. And so basically talking about trying to increase inflation. So the market was all over the place pre-market. We'll take a look at that in the futures. And then ultimately it gave a big push into the open, right? And then we can see here if we look at the intraday action, right? So it gave a big push in the open, then a quick sharp move down, right, to fill the gap, and then a push up, and then we saw some really wild whipsaw price action today. It was a lot of back and forth at the open, right? So this is what this shows here is indecision, right? Between the buyers and the sellers. It's like, I want down, I want up, I want down, I want up, I want down, I want up. I mean, this is really, really tough area to trade, right? That's why, a lot of times we like to trade the open and then we let the market decide what it wants to do. And we look for, names that are strong at the open or weak, depending on the overall market sentiment, right? So today, right, we had strong stuff. The banks were strong, the airlines were strong, Boeing was strong, right? Those are the main ones at the open that were really kind of pushing. So that's what we like to get at the open. Right, and then after that, we look for setups to occur throughout the day. Right now, sometimes we do get trend days. Right, like so here, right, yesterday we had down, up, and then we started to trend. Right, and then today we had a couple reversals. Right, so we had one sharp reversal here. Then we had a double top right here. We talked about that recently in our key level video series, right? And then we had a great push down here. So this made for a great shorting opportunity on that one. And actually turned into a pretty good support area right here where we bounced yesterday, right? So we bounced off of that, right? Ended up taking this inside candle up, right? And then they push it down at the close. So it was a pretty wild day today. These are the levels that we provide to our members before each market open. And you can see how nicely these can help guide us, right? So right here was a major pivot level here on the SPX, and you can see that's where we ultimately reversed, right? We had a higher low, and then higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, and then it started to break down, right? So that was today's action. You can see how well that plays between the levels. Let's take a look at the futures and see how they look this evening. And what I want to point out too is what happened here pre-market. And so coming into the open today, of course, we do our morning videos where we talk about this stuff. If you guys are new here, definitely check us out on YouTube. Subscribe on YouTube so you can see that. Right, so we go through this, and we have this big triangulation pattern right here. We know that triangles tend to lead to interesting breakouts. Right, so we had our first breakout here. We retested it here after Powell started talking, and then it launched. Right, so that was really, really nice into the open, and then it was, whoa, sharp reversal off of that, then a big move up, then a sharp reversal down, then a big move up, this is really, really tricky. This is kind of like stand to the side type stuff, right? Very, very, very fast moves on it. Tough to see what the market is trying to do here as it tests all these levels, right? Finally broke the 15-hour high, bounced off the 15-hour high, double top right here, and then worked its way down. This was a great shorting opportunity, right? It wanted to get into yesterday's range, right, which it did, and tested those levels until it was like, nope, we're done, and just kind of worked its way back up there. So very, very interesting day. It was up, it was down, it was up, and then it was down again, right? And that ended up forming that doji day. And so now here we are going into the evening and into tomorrow. I mean, this is a crazy day, right? So going tomorrow, what do we got? We got another triangle working on right here. So we got this going on, and this is pretty tight right here. So what we'll do is we'll put a geometric level right here. Right, so it kind of looks like that, and then we'll go ahead and tighten it up right here, just to kind of see what we have going into the early hours of tomorrow. So we'll see how that goes going in there. So anyway, good stuff to look at here. All right, awesome. So let's take a look here. So today we're going to be wrapping up our series on day trading reversals, and today we're going to be talking about the inside candles. So these are really important candles, right? So what we mean by inside, right, is where the candle's real body, or the candle's whole body, right, the high and the low, is contained by the prior candle's high and low. And what this means is, and we'll take a look at it right here, I have these in yellow right here, and you can see there's already a reversal here this evening. Whoa, there's already a reversal here this evening off of an inside candle, right? So we worked our way up here this evening, right? So worked our way up right here, and then we had an inside candle right here. So you can see the high and the low of this candle is contained by the high and low of this candle. So we color that yellow, helps it stand out for us because they are important. And what they mean is they're areas of indecision of price, right? It doesn't know whether it wants to go up or down anymore. And oftentimes, if it's the right setup or in the right area where there's the right trend, there's the right momentum, and all that stuff, we can get follow through to the upside, right? Or we can get reversals off of them. So that's exactly what happened right here this evening, right? So we worked our way up, we did an inside candle, failed to break to the upside, which makes it even more powerful, right? And once it cleared the bottom of this, with a nice low below it, right, we got some nice follow through the downside on that one. Then it reversed, and then it gave us another reversal inside candle, down, up again, inside candle, down, right? So we saw that here even this evening. Okay, so again, it's a little bit tricky here at the nighttime trading in the futures, right? Because the volume is just so low down here, right? It's not like intraday where a lot of times the moves can be a lot more meaningful. Okay, so that's the inside candle. Let's look at a few more examples of this. So yesterday was a great one with Netflix, and this is on the 5-minute chart. But depending on what time frames you like to trade, right, they can lead to different results. So it just all depends on your trading plan, right? But you can see here yesterday was an impressive move, right? So on Netflix, right, we worked our way up at the open, right? We had an inside candle right here. Did it want to reverse down? No, right? It closed above it, couldn't break down below those candles, gave one more inside candle, and then worked its way back up, right? We had another inside candle, not a reversal right there. This actually was a reversal back up. We dropped down, reversed back up off of that candle, and then we finally got to the top right here, and we had the ultimate, right? We combined yesterday's topic of having a doji reversal and an inside candle, and that gave a great reversal down here for Netflix, where it finally put in its high of the day. And in fact, it's high of the day right here. So nice inside doji reversal right here, and that worked its way down nicely. Up again, another doji reversal, and down, inside candle reversal. So that was a good one. We also see these in the other direction as well. So Apple yesterday did one right at the open, right? And in fact, we had one today too. So, but this is a beautiful reversal. This is a V reversal on Apple yesterday, right? So it was really, really weak at the open, and look where it reversed. So we hit the lows right here, and we can actually kind of go back and see, where this put us right here. So this is a major zone from yesterday, right, or from the day before, from Tuesday, from the 21st. I'm sorry, this is, what day is this? The 24th? Sorry, guys, I went back a little bit farther on this one. Yeah, sorry. So this is, my bad, this is from the 24th, and this is the 21st, right? So this is over the weekend, right? So this is Monday. And so we gapped above it, right? And then we reversed to the downside, right? But what did we do? We came right into a major area from the prior day, right? You can see this is a huge level of congestion, right, in this area, and we reversed back up off of it with an inside candle right here on the 5-minute chart, right? So it was a key area. It's an inside candle reversal, and worked its way back up. So really cool stuff. It's a great tool to use, and you'll start to see this all the time, right? And in fact, it did it today, right? So we did inside candle right here. It ultimately worked its way back up for a nice reversal off of Apple today as well. So not amazing, but it definitely showed that, hey, this move was done. It wasn't sure which way it wanted to go, failed to break to the downside, gave you a nice candle right here, and then worked its way back up, right? And we see it. We also saw it on Amazon as well. Right, so Amazon did it here. It also did this here as well on the 25th, on Tuesday, right, at the open, right, got a little bit weak at the morning, right, pushed its way down, give you a nice reversal candle right here, inside candle, and then that look at that nice move right there on Amazon off of that. So good stuff. Here you go, nice reversal here as well, right, to the downside. So it's a really cool tool to use. Again, you got to be careful with it, right? You really want to look for confirmation. You want to use some of the other tools that we were talking about this week. Moving averages can help. The ribbons that we were talking about, and it can be a really, really powerful tool. So hopefully you guys find that helpful. At this point, if anybody has any questions or chart requests, please feel free to plug those in the chat window, and we'll get through as many as we can and try to wrap up as early as possible so we can all get a good night's sleep and have another awesome trading day tomorrow. So good stuff. So Dylan sent in a few in via Twitter. So let's take a look at a couple that are on Dylan's radar right here. We'll see what they're looking like. So pretty interesting stuff. So here's Triple M, right? 3M company. So looking pretty interesting right here. So the Dow has been trying to get some strength, mostly carried by names like Boeing and Disney recently, Apple, of course, the other day. But yeah, so Triple M looks like it's putting a little bit of a bull flag right here. This is a very, very tricky name to trade. And the reason I say that is because this was like, one of the main manufacturers of the, of face masks, right? And even after the Corona crash, it just couldn't really push up on good news, right? So it really makes this a tough one to trade. But keep an eye on this bull flag right here and see if we get some volume to break out of that one. Walmart, this is a good one too. The other day, early this week, there was some huge call activity in Walmart. And one of the big levels we were looking at is this geometric level right here. We're like, okay, I think it was this day, I think it was Monday, where it had huge call activity, and then it just kind of worked its way down, did nothing, and then it blasted out today, right? So you kind of wonder if that huge call activity meant they knew that they were going to make a bid for TikTok, and they did today. That news came out today, and we launched through these geometric lines right here and gave a huge momentum move up. Now, this was a kind of a big deal right here, a huge volume on this one. We got some nice follow through on it. But guys, that was not easy, right? It's kind of one of those ones you just got to get in and keep your fingers crossed because the options were all over the place, right? The bids, and when things get wild like that and the volatility spikes like that, sometimes the bids, that's when you kind of have to be sitting in, right? So if you like this, you had actually an inside candle reversal right here. We gapped above that. That's a bullish signal. We push through those lines right there. And then you just got to be like, okay, maybe I'll trade it till it gets to that level right there. And if it gets above that, I'll trade it to the next level there. So Walmart, pretty interesting. Big upper shadow today. This is one that typically does not get huge follow through on news like that. So we'll see how it handles it. In fact, it had a pretty big upper shadow on that one. So just a little bit of caution there on Walmart going into tomorrow on that news. V had a great move, right? So this is again this sideways cup and handle pattern. We finally broke out of that geometric line here with some decent volume, not increasing volume, but decent, right? Paused the next day on increased volume, and then it worked its way back up. So that was nice as well. Ulta earnings tonight. So this is gapping up here pretty significantly here tonight. So what we can do is we can see here we're at about this 256. I like how it hit 270, but now we're kind of here, right? So we're going to put a highlight on that. And then you'll be able to see where we are right here. So this is where we're basically gapping up right now. We could see a bit of a gap and go on this tomorrow, but now it's got some after hours levels to contend with. 270 is going to be a big level, so we'll see how it handles it. I wouldn't be surprised to see a reversal on that tomorrow, but careful with it too. The options are often all over the place on that one. JP Morgan with a great day today. Like we said, the banks were strong today, super strong at the open, and they held up well, right? So that's one of the one of the signs here too. It's actually drifting up after market too. We caught this at the open twice, right? So it was a real nice move there. And then it did its kind of sideways drift thing where it just held the ADMA and kind of just gave a little bit of a pop at the end of the day, and then just kind of drifted down. So that's one of the kind of factors out there. If the banks are strong, and I think the transports are even strong too. If those are strong, right, the market is likely just kind of hanging in there pretty nicely. So that's a good signal right there to see. And I like how it blasted out of the cloud right here. So we'll see if these give some follow through tomorrow. We're going to keep it on the bullish radar for tomorrow. Of course, the XLF again. A lot of the banks were strong today, so a nice green candle on that one as it held this geometric line line with kind of this failed Head and Shoulders type, well, it's somewhat Head and Shoulders type move right here that never broke down, right? So it's got a little bit, the XLF has got a little bit move to get to its 200 day. And then Uber. So yeah, it's working its way back up right here. Good volume today, but possible pause day from yesterday's candle. Again, this thing has been pretty wild, right? So it's been holding these this prior resistance level, kind of held it, bounced off of that crazy California news. Gave you an inside day a couple days ago off of this mini bull flag right here, and it did push into the cloud. So now let's see if it's a pause day and tries to get at least to the top of the cloud on that one. So good finds on those. Great stuff, Dylan. Appreciate it. Shirley sent in a few via email, and Shirley just wants to thank everybody for all your thoughts and prayers that you've given. Again, we'll continue to have positive thoughts for Shirley. She continues to do well and staying safe out there. So, and obviously coming up with some cool chart requests. So, AYX, guys, this is a great one. We had this on our bullish game plan today. We liked it because of the range breakout yesterday, right? So we got a real tight range right here. We got out of that range yesterday with increased volume, and today we pushed above it. So nice follow through on AYX today. Now we got to deal with that 200-day moving average. MA. Again, a little bit nicer than Visa, a little bit easier, very, very similar structure, right? It had this sideways cup and handle pattern. We broke out of this pattern here. Again, it was with less volume, so it wasn't that inspirational, but we had a pause day right here, and then we worked our way up on it as it held the ADMA up on that one. So yeah, so definitely still bullish, still proven otherwise on that one. MAR had a nice little pop today there too. Again, this is a tough one to trade with options, but it does look like it's trying to stay above those trend lines. Again, a lot of these names like these can get strong the better type of corona cures and all that stuff that we have, where society could maybe start going back to normal, if that's whatever that is. JP Morgan, great move today as well, so we're going to be keeping an eye on that one. And then Etsy. Etsy, not so good, right? It's kind of breaking down at a lot of these levels right here. It does have decreased volume, and it's right at some support levels. But if it does break down any farther, right, we might see a push down here to fill these gaps. So I'm actually going to put that on the bearish radar for tomorrow and see how that goes. And so nice stuff there. So good. So there's that's Etsy. Really appreciate it, Shirley. Have a great rest of your evening. Alma, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, my pleasure. I thank you for being a part of it. ISRG, iSurge, guys, this one is a Intuitive Surgical. This is a tough one to trade. It's up to $709. It's definitely been grinding its way up here, and I had a nice push. It's got a nasty upper shadow on it. Just be careful with this one. This thing's all over the place with its options. So CRM, this is a good one too. Again, didn't quite get close over yesterday's highs, right, for the big momentum move, but we pointed this out at the close for our members. We really, really liked how it broke these levels at the close right here, and then gave a nice pop into the end of the day. So I believe it was the 270. I can't remember exactly which one. They were like the two. I think I've got it pulled up over here. Yeah, from the end of the day. The 275 calls on this one went from about like 250 off of this line right here and hit like $5 in just that short amount of time. So a really nice trade on that one today at the close. So again, still bullish, still proven otherwise on CRM. Piton, let's take a look. Piton again, nice recovery here after hours, right? So it was a wild one today. It had a big upgrade today, and then a nasty pullback, right? And then a reversal back up. Ended up forming basically like a sideways head and shoulders right here, and it's kind of working its way up here after hours. And doji reversal. Anyway, so let's take a look here on the daily chart. So daily chart, a little nasty here. Looks like a hanging man type pattern right here. It's running into some resistance areas up here. So just a little bit of caution on that one. But a nice recovery after hours. So let's see if that can continue to try to work its way back up and maybe eventually go on an earnings run, as it has earnings coming up in kind of early September. So good stuff there. Thanks, Alma. Mike, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in. I trust you had a great trading day as well. Good stuff. So Amazonia, so let's take a look. So Amazon, yeah, so this is tricky right here, right? So tomorrow's Friday, right? So we could see some momentum moves and some interesting setups on these names. Amazon had its chance today to get some good follow through. At least it gapped up like 10 points for us today, so that was good. But it pulled back sharply this morning, right? So it was a really quick pullback after that. Had a nice gap up, and that was it. So it moved nicely off of the Powell stuff, but it did give me an inside 15 reversal here intraday. So again, basically at this point here, just kind of sticking to day trading on this one and looking. And tomorrow could be an interesting one for it because it's Friday. So and then Apple, let's take a look. So Apple, nasty candle there today, guys. Bearish engulfing candle. Not quite at the top of a range, should be a true bearish engulfing reversal, but the candle is engulfing right here, and it had some nasty pullbacks today, right? So in fact, it was one of the big ones to break down when we were shorting SPY today. So, but beautiful triangle right here, right? Nice triangle breakdown with increased volume, and just a great follow through the downside on the short side on that today. So we'll see what they're trying to do right here. They're keeping it at 500 right now. I think we're coming up to basically like the last day where you could be in it before it's split tomorrow. So they may be trying to pin it up here, so when they split it, right, it's it gets really, I can't wait till Apple is, way down here again, right? So we can get some reasonable premiums on it, because it's getting expensive, which is annoying. Apple is usually one of my favorite ones to trade at the money. But anyway, good stuff there. And so for tomorrow, we'll see if it gets any follow through. Again, futures are pretty strong here this evening, so it'll probably gap up, and then we'll see what it gives us, right? So we'll see. So everything pretty bullish. So good stuff there. It is a decreased volume, right? So it could be a low volume fake out on the downside today, but it is an engulfing candle. So cool stuff there. ZEK, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in. Oracle. Yeah, so I mean, all you got to do to get your stock to go up these days is to say that you're going to make a bid for TikTok. Right, so that happened for Walmart today. You got a little spike on Oracle recently because of that. It's the same thing as the blockchain stuff. Remember, where everybody's like, "Oh yeah, we're in the blockchain," right? And then that started going. Or when cannabis was hot not too long ago, it was like, "Oh yeah, we're in the cannabis industry," and everything is popping on that stuff. Beyond Meat, it's like, oh yeah, we're in the plant-based products, everything goes on. Now it's like, oh yeah, we're buying TikTok, right? So Oracle's one of those too. So nasty spinning top there today with a big upper shadow. So a little bit of risk on that one. Mr. Softy, Microsoft, decent move today. Big upper shadow. Again, some strength in the software sector again with CRM, so a nice move off of that. Tesla, great stuff right there. I know I got all our member levels on this one, but Tesla fresh all-time highs. Big green spinning top on that one, so we'll see if that gets some follow through as it is coming up on a stock split as well. Really crazy to see Tesla in the 2000s, but it is what it is. mRNA. Again, these names, biotechs have been really challenging here, right, with the whole Corona thing. But again, it's kind of working on some stuff right here inside day below the cloud. So if it breaks down below there, might want to test a couple of those levels below. And then love. So some of the airlines got some love this morning. So we liked AAL at the open. UAL just announced that they if they don't get any more aid, they're gonna have to furlough pilots. And so it's just horrible, right? So, but anyway, upper shadow right here could be a potential, turn into push to the downside to fill the gap below. So good stuff there. Thanks, UK. Rocky, what's going on? Hope you're doing well. HCA Healthcare. Let's take a look there. Kind of grinding its way up here. So, it's kind of doing this kind of curly pattern, kind of going sideways right here. It tried to break out today and couldn't do it. Right, so again, this is kind of your range right now. So just look for breakout one way or the other with volume. Right, we don't want those upper shadows. And then Box. So Box pretty cool right here. So we had earnings last night and into today, so we gapped up on this one, right? We gapped up pretty high, but why didn't we gap and go? One main reason is because we couldn't get over all this congestion over here. And then if you go to the intraday time frame, we definitely couldn't get above the pre-market level. So we had a reversal off of that. We retested those levels. It said, nope, doji reversal on the 15, and then worked its way back down to the 15 or below on that one. So good stuff. J-Moss, what's going on? Microsoft, amazing. You wait for years, for Microsoft to get like any sort of like momentum, right? It's just this grindy type action. Then here, right? Look at this. This was all the way from June of 2019 to October. 4 months of just sideways boring action. Then it started to work its way up. Then it flushes with the Corona crash. Then it works its way back up, and now it's like the hottest thing ever, right? So, but it's huge. It's funny to see Microsoft becoming like a real big big day trading name. It used to be just like penny spreads, trade some intraday setups, and now it's this, right? So huge green spinning top up here. Big upper shadows. Just a little bit of caution on this one, but definitely showing some intraday strength. And then low. How low can you go, Lowe's? Well, Lowe's is looking interesting. We did get a gap up on this one today, which was nice, right? But then it reversed and left you with a true bearish engulfing candle on this one. So just nasty on that one, right? So we gapped up a little bit here this morning with a teeny little push, and then it worked its way down. So let's keep an eye. I'm actually going to put that on the bearish radar for tomorrow. It was on our bullish radar yesterday, but it's a bearish engulfing candle like that is pretty nasty, especially with the hurricane having basically just turned into a rainstorm. So we've got that going on there as well. So we've got that, and just lost that real quick there. Okay, there we go. And and so and then FedEx. Let's take a look. So again, like we said, the transport's hung in there pretty well today. It's kind of like a transport name right there. Inside day up, right? Still holding the ADMA, just grinding its way up here. It's coming on ex-dividend early next month. So just kind of keep an eye on that, see if we can continue to push there before that date. So good stuff. Thanks, J-Boss. Appreciate it. Then Nest, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in. Roku. Let's take a look. So Roku, again, guys, we talk about this all the time, right? We talk about when you have these big breakout candles, right? Be careful, right? Unless there's like something major going on, right? If it's doing it like kind of oddly, right? It's a great day trade, right? But a lot of times the next day, like this one on Roku, inside candle after it, right? This one here, inside candle after it. It's tough when you're swinging because it's like, it's almost too obvious that these strong names are like, oh, okay, well, they go up. Well, usually it takes a pause day and all that stuff and it consolidates a little bit, maybe gives like a little bit of a flag, and then we'll see if we can break out from there. I do like that Roku is trying, so that's a good thing there. VRM, vroom vroom. So, still kind of grinding its way back up there, spinning top. Not a lot of volume in this range right here, so just a little bit of caution on that. But it did give a nice move up off of the prior double inside day there. And then Melly. So Melly, a really, really tricky one right here. Kind of a low volume pullback here to the ADMAs to see how that holds on that one. And then SE. This thing has been epic for so long. I mean, look, that was its Corona crash right there. Barely anything. It pulled back the 200-day, and then I mean, just crazy up here. So a little bit low back, a little bit low volume pullback to the 80 on that one. So let's see how that holds if it can continue this trend. So good stuff there. Bagash, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in. Home Depot. Again, not as nasty as the Lowe's candle on this one, but definitely kind of pulled back there into the red today after setting an all-time high. It's still holding trend. It's still above its upward trend line, right? So if we have a fresh high today, fresh trend line, so we could activate this and just kind of push that over here a little bit, right? So still holding trend, but just a little caution on it up here. So also heading up into ex-dividend on that one. QDEL. Oh, wow. Big gap down on this one, but look where it bounced right off the 200-day moving average. If you're going to find a spot to bounce, that's the space to do it. Not sure what the news was on this one to make this thing gap down like this, but QDEL down is on pace larger percent decrease. Here was what was the reason for this thing going down? Anyway, pretty interesting stuff. Nice bounce off of this one. This is actually, it could get some follow through to the upside on that one based on the strength of that candle today and the huge volume. So definitely a nice one to find on that one. It is down a little bit after hours, though, so a little caution there on that. MCK. McKesson with a little bit of a push right there. Again, this is the big geometric line that we're focusing on right now, so it's kind of like a sideways cup and handle-ish type pattern, right? So we want to see it push through there with some volume to see if we can give a breakout on that one. Otherwise, watching for some resistance. And then MHK. Nice inside day up on this one today too. Mohawk, yeah, this could be a fun one occasionally. So nice inside day up on that one. Decent volume on it. Let's see if we get some follow through the upside. You got a big congestion zone ahead. So again, just kind of watch that right there. It could be running into some resistance there. So good stuff. The Nest, PSNL, Personalis. We've got a round bottom on the weekly. Oh, here, yeah. So got this going on right here. Yep, still holding trend right there. Inside week this week, and nice bounce off of the bump line on PSNL. Bagish, yeah, W Day. I know exactly. Huge moves after hours, guys. Again, W Day's up to 242. Definitely on the gap and go radar tomorrow. So that's definitely one to keep an eye on there. Holding up really, really nicely after hours on workday, and of course Ulta as well. We talked about that a little bit ago. W Day has a real good chance of a gap and go tomorrow. Ulta has some work to do, but it should gap up pretty nicely if anybody had that overnight. So a nice move on that. And Ulta can do these gaps, right? It's done it before on earnings, right? This one, right? So it's kind of making up for that a little bit here. Not as good, but still nice. I know, amazing stuff. The Nest. Thoughts on Ulta? Yeah, gap and go on Ulta, not so much, right? Because right now we're here and it's got a lot of levels after hours here to deal with. So it's got to get over the after hours level, so the high of this evening, right? It's got some crazy levels right here. I mean, this is a good pivot level right here that it needs to get above, but then once it's above that, right, it's running into this level right here, right, which is kind of where it basically reversed over after hours, right? So this is tough, and it's coming into all this selling pressure up here, right? But W Day has a better chance of it if it can clear its pre-market highs. So we'll see how that looks tomorrow morning. Royal, what's going on? Hope you're doing well. Yeah, I hope you had a great day too. Your tickers are already covered. All right. Well, good to see you, and thanks for making it and being here. So, the Nest AYX. So AYX, guys, this is on. We added this to the game plan last night. Thank you guys for bringing that up. I loved yesterday's candle, and we got some nice follow through on it today with some good volume. So beautiful stuff there. Workhorse, WKHS. So Workhorse. Again, guys, this one is this one will break your heart. This one will break your heart. It's done it before. Once bitten, twice shy, right? It gives you these breakout candles, and then it gives you this nastiness, right? So it's just this kind of is what it is off of that one. This is one to look for a breakout in the future and see if it's shortable, right? So you got that going on. Let's take a look at FSLY. Big push up today, and then a reversal off of its upper trend line, right? So it's still doing the trend box shenanigans, right? And then Etsy, again, just some weakness on this one. It's had an epic run up right there, but it's looking a little bit kind of droopy there, right? So we'll see how that goes with the ADMA really starting to curl over there. Jay, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in. Thoughts on the stock split for Tesla and price movement or next week? This is a highly traded Robinhood name, right? So chances are, right, everybody, the big hype on this thing is that, right, it's gonna split, right, and then it's gonna rip. Right, so and that does happen often a lot with stock splits. So that's kind of what I'm going to look out for. We're going to look for the intraday price. Hopefully, it'll be epic and it'll give us some time to do it. Right now, we're at 22.95, so that divided by 5 right now is 450, which is crazy, right? So it's going to split and it's going to be basically back where we were, just a couple months ago, right? So it's going to be back in, potentially back in this range right here. So once it splits, right, we're going to be here, and then we'll see how fast it can climb its way back up, and maybe it'll fill these open gaps here from the downside. So it could, right? Because this is such a wild name, and that's really what I'm looking for. I can't imagine it's just going to sit down there, right? People are just going to look, oh, Tesla, I can get it $450, right? I mean, it's just going to be. I imagine it's going to be some fireworks on that one, so it should be pretty interesting. So definitely looking forward to that. Ramesh, what's going on? Of course, we'll look and we'll make sure that the setups are there. ANET right at the 50-day moving average, Ramesh. So it's hanging onto the cloud right there. It's looking okay. It could be doing a couple things, right? We got the prior upper trend line right here, which we've come up and tested, right? But at the same time, it could be working on a bear flag right here. If you can kind of see it, right? So let's just look for volume one way or the other on this one. Right now, it just kind of gave you volume on a spinning top right at the cloud. So really, really tight range right here. So let's just kind of see if it gives us any signals on that. The Nest, NetEase, let's take a look at NetEase. Let's take a look at that one. So NetEase, engulfing candle there today. CDLX. CDLX, also an engulfing candle on that one too. IIPR. It's kind of just grinding its way up right there. Hit a fresh high there, and just kind of a narrow range candle. So, but nice job. I know you've been tracking that one. ESTC, nasty reversal on that, almost dark cloud cover on that one, but just a nasty pullback off of that. So, careful with that. So JDST. Yeah, just kind of doing its thing down there. It's kind of flat line, and then silver. Yeah, so we've got a lot of the names were red today. A lot of the precious metal names were red today. So gapped up with the market, and again, they just kind of pulled back off of the inflation for whatever reason. So you had that going on today. Angela, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in. I hope you're well. Yeah, so Piton, really incredible moves today, right? So we looked at it a little bit earlier. It gave us this intraday inverse head and shoulders right here. It actually broke out of that after hours. So let's see if that can continue its way up. It ended up with kind of a nasty candle on the intraday, but I do love how strong it was pre-market based on the upgrade, right? So we got that going on. Let's see if it can continue to work its way up to these highs. If we push above that, we may see another push to the all-time highs on Piton. So good stuff there. And Ramesh, what's going on? DKNG. So again, this thing is like you get sports news on this thing. DKNG moves on it, right? So it's like yesterday, it's like they're boycotting basketball. Today, they're back playing basketball, right? But then like the Phillies weren't playing or something like that. Then it goes out. It's like so any sport event just affects this thing. So it's really just kind of contained by these geometric lines right now. So again, I'd wait for a pullback on this one to see if it makes sense. Home Depot again. Got a little muted there off of the hurricane rally. As Laura got turned into a drizzle, and so no, I'm just kidding, it's not that bad. But tropical storm status, and so this is kind of pulled back off of that a little bit here. But again, generally overall though, it's been super strong. So that going on. The Nest, Regeneron. Hanging a little doji there off of an inside day, so we'll see how it goes. It is over the 80 man, that one. Matthew, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in, and I hope you're well. Let's say Z. Yeah, so fresh all-time high, but pulled off of that a little bit. Still kind of back in the range of that this ascending triangle. AMD. Yeah, nasty pullback today. The semis were weak today. This is one of our weak sectors today. The banks were strong, right? Semis were weak, right? So this gave a nice pullback right here. Not quite an evening star reversal, but a nasty pullback here. Got below the 80 man, then closed right at it at the close. So it's a little bit in the sketchy zone right here. And then Billy. So Billy with a gap down today and a reversal off the cloud and the 50-day moving average, but a little bit sketchy in this range too. So tough area right here. Gaps above and gaps below. So we got that going on. Tracy, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, let's take a look at Zumba. So Zoom double pause day right here, so might get a little bit of action today. But Zoom was, had some great intraday price action, right? Huge move up, huge move down, and then another huge move up. So it did give a lot of activity today. So let's see what it has in store for tomorrow. Maybe it'll get some strength, but and it might be, if there's a good setup, you got Friday fun tomorrow. Okta with an inside day, and I believe we have earnings after hours. So this takes us down here tomorrow to 210, and 210 puts us right here at the bottom of the gap. So if their earnings were decent, right, we may actually see like a little tag of that 50-day and then a push up here for a gap fill. So let's see how that goes tomorrow. It's also right at the cloud. So that could be a potential dip by tomorrow. We'll see what kind of price action looks like there. TGT got hammered today, and but still held the 8-day. Whereas Walmart, just kind of broke out and ripped today, right? So we had that going on here. And then Disney gave a nice push today off of this, right? Remember the invisible flag pull right here? Off of the flag, broke out here, good volume, pause day, up again. And today got some nice follow through, and then it left you with an upper shadow on it. So maybe the moves is a little bit over right here. So we'll see how that goes. Might give you a couple pause days on that one too. Yeah, my pleasure. Nin, what's going on? Good to see you. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, let's take a look at Boeing. So Boeing was great at the open. Right, so this one and the airlines and JP Morgan, these were the ones at the open. These were the ones that were flying. Boeing had like a successful test flight, I think, of their new 7 Max or whatever it was, and everything was looking great, and then it just couldn't get above that triangle range here on the daily. So left you kind of with a shooting star candle on that one. It's still tight in this range. Let's just see what kind of, just kind of continue to keep an eye on that one. Beyond was pretty good too. Today, right, gave it a strong push at the open, and it couldn't get over its macro geometric levels right here too. It got to the cloud and then reversed back down. Huge volume of that one as they opened up for like some online, ordering or something like that. So good stuff there. Thanks, Nitin. Great stuff. Angela, yeah, so thoughts on the NQ at these high levels? You got to follow trend on it. It's getting a little extended up here, right? We're kind of an inside day so far going into tonight. It is what it is right now. We're it's hard up here. I don't like trading at all-time highs, right? Because there's so much price discovery and there's a lot of finickiness. Like today was really finicky, right? So you got a couple little bump lines that you could use as like kind of mini guides right here, right? So you just have to respect the trend, right? But also respect the intraday price action, right? And any news that comes out. So again, we're still gonna consider it bullish, still proven otherwise. We break down here, we got this line. Break down, we got this line. To break down below here, then we've got maybe wherever the 50-day moving average is in the cloud below that one. But this thing has just been so super duper strong, and until the money rotates out of those, bullish still proven otherwise. So we got that going on. Ricky, yeah, my pleasure. Thanks for tuning in. G.O., what's going on? I hope you're well. Let's take a look at IRM. So Iron Mountain right here, up 19 cents here, just kind of grinded its way up here, holding the ADMA. So it looks like, as it's been, dips have been viable on it. Okay, Realty Income Corp. Let's see if I can pull it up here for us. Okay, there we go. Decent green candle there, a little volume on it. So just kind of really, really choppy, right? So you want to just kind of keep an eye on these levels, right? See how those hold. Getting kind of tight in there. And then we've got SPG, again, another real estate name. So again, talk about Amazon buying their properties and all that stuff, but or trying to turn the properties into Amazon, fulfillment centers, whatever the case is there, right? So, but again, until anything happens here, just gotta see how it holds these this triangle range here and look for a volume breakout on those. Z, again, we looked at a little bit earlier, nice all-time high, but still kind of came back into that ascending triangle on that one, so see how it holds there. AXP got perky today again with the rest of the financials. I like how it closed above these levels, but I don't like how it didn't close above a couple of these other upper shadows right here, right? So it's still working, in my opinion, right? So a couple other breakouts a little bit better was like J.P. Morgan, things like that, and then Coke. So Coca-Cola. Okay, so it's kind of hanging. Well, how far back have I gone on this one? Oh, I'm on 4 years. That's why it's taking so long. Let's go to 1 year on this one. Okay, good. So big upper shadow on Coca-Cola today, right? There's some call activity on Pepsi today, but just kind of something to keep an eye on right there. But a bit of an upper shadow on that. Really a tough day trade name, but it's sometimes a good indicator on the market. Disney again, flag move right here, right? So might pause for a little bit before it tries to work its way back up again. Again, we'll just watch that upper shadow on Disney. Good stuff for Mesh. Yeah, DLTR. Oh, nasty move, right? So we had DG today, and it looks like we had DLTR as well this morning. That pulled back really harshly. So look for a momentum move breakdown below yesterday's lows if that sets up tomorrow. Could be interesting. Samit, what's going on? Uber, yeah. So Uber, trying to work its way back up here. It's pushing its way to the cloud off of that small little bull flag. So we got that going on. CVS. Again, decent day today with a couple of little healthcare names like that. Into a little bit of cloud resistance on that. Merck doing better than PFE, in terms of at least it's not being delisted from the Dow, right? So Bank of America again, pretty decent right here. Again, J.P. Morgan being my favorite. I like the bullish engulfing candle right here, but you just got to watch out, right? It really struggled getting over some recent highs. So we had that going on, but decent volume today, right? So there's some strength in those. Ricky, yeah, INO. Just still kind of downtrending here since and I'm not surprised to see this either, right? This was a short idea from Citron, right? They just these guys aren't going to make a vaccine, so they've scammed before, right? That type of thing. So it is slowly moving down off of that one. Of course, they had rough earnings there too. Tracy at OSTK. So the ultimate bullish name right here had a nasty pullback today. I've already put a trend box on this one off of this bump line. So today's low here is a trend box bottom, a breakdown below there. Might see this trend line, breakdown below there. May see it work its way back down. But yeah, this whole sector was really weak today. So definitely something to keep an eye on there. Rick, yeah, you're good. CWH, so the Camping World. Right, so let's see how that goes right here. It's inside day up, but not really a lot of follow through on it. Might be working on a little bit of a bear flag right here to try to get to the bottom of the daily cloud. And cool, what's going on? Long time. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you're well. Yeah, let's take a look at PLNT. PLNT again. These names too. Again, the gyms, the casinos, the cruise lines, the airlines. Right. Anytime there's a cure coming out, these things like to get a move. So it did get a little bit push there today. Upper shadow here at the top of the cloud. So let's see how how it handles those levels going into tomorrow. And I think I missed a few guys. It looks like wait, did I not? Looks like sorry, it skipped to the bottom, guys. Sorry about that. So we got through INO, and then I just got CWH, but here I missed Ankit. Sorry. Good evening, by the way. Yeah. So so let's take the ZI. So Zoom Info. Sorry about that. This sometimes YouTube skips around when you get fresh chats in there. But Zoom Info a little bit rough, right? So it is still working on that bear flag down on that one. AYX, great breakout, right? This is on the bullish radar from last night. We talked about it here. Loved how it broke out of that range move and it got to move there. It's just got the 200-day above it right now as potential resistance. Boeing with an upper shadow off of the triangle. Goldman Sachs again. Decent candle day, upper shadow on this. Like I said, JP Morgan best in breed there today. TGT. Again, nasty little pullback right there, but holding the 80 man that one, and then XPEV. So yeah, well, what a start today! It's like, hey, welcome to the stock market, flush, right? Isn't this like an electric vehicle company that's like a competitor in China with Tesla? Yeah. So anyway, something to keep an eye on this one, but big pullback off of that. And then Li, another electric vehicle name too. Huge inside day off of yesterday, right? So just got some crazy momentum, and off of all the electric vehicle hype, NIO and all that stuff. We're all just pushing the last couple days. So a little bit of pullback off of that one. Rohit, yeah, and Baba, yeah, nasty pullback of that one, guys. Yesterday did turn into a hanging man, like we talked about. It was a low volume hammer day, right? And it got to one of our key levels right there, and it did pull off of it. So let's see if that gets any more downside follow through. Sure, what's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, Roku again, inside day today after yesterday's breakout candle. We saw a lot of that today, right? So usually we say it'll probably give you an inside day, right? Facebook, again, inside day today. A lot of times off these big candles, right? The next day you can sell premium, right? JP Morgan, again, one of my favorites, best in breed here. At least it closed over some. It's got a little room that it could work its way to the upside. Yeah, my pleasure. And Rick, it looks like I think we already got to Camping World. Tracy, and then Darden Restaurants. Again, like I said, anytime there's a like a major cure thing coming out right here, these names like to move. Gave a good push today, but just watch out for your 200-day moving average on that one. Shopify, of course, is just a beast. We had a big move yesterday, but a nasty down move today. So inside day there, and it looks like it might be eyeing that little gap below right here, right next to the ADMA. So that could be a potential target on that one. And then INO, Ricky, we got that one. Tracy, we got Overstock. And CWH. Okay, gotcha. That's what we meant. Yeah, looked like maybe we were right in Chewy the first time. And good stuff. Yeah, so cool one. We got Planet Fitness and then QCOM. So QCOM's a tricky one, right? So it's we really like this reversal out of the falling wedge pattern right here, right? And it got some follow through on that one, and ultimately gave a decent move up. But it's just kind of grindy right here. It's it gave it a nice breakout attempt today, and then it fails, right? So this is not one I really like to day trade, right? But it can be tricky. But sometimes it gives some good setups on the daily. But right now, I think we're kind of it's kind of a little bit blah. So. Anyway, good stuff, guys. Great chart requests tonight, and awesome questions. I always appreciate everybody for tuning in. It's been a great series this week talking about reversals. I think we put a lot of good concepts out there, so I hope you guys found them helpful. Again, really appreciate everybody for tuning in. I hope everybody has a wonderful rest of your evening. We'll see you guys bright and early tomorrow on YouTube, so if you're new here, definitely click subscribe on YouTube. And whether you're new here or not, definitely hit the like button. That goes a long way. We always appreciate that. Even if you've hit like in the past, we always like it when you hit like. And then we'll see you guys Sunday night when we go live for the to get ready for a new week. So before that, keep in mind too, we got links in the description there to our website. I do a weekly newsletter that gets our group pumped and ready for the week. We put a trade of the week idea out there if it triggers, right? We talk about it in the Discord, in the group. So Facebook was our trade of the week this week, and it really gave a really, really nice move. So anyway, we got a Discord, private Twitter, and all that stuff. You'll see the links in the description. So once again, guys, I really appreciate it. I hope everybody has a wonderful evening. Stay healthy out there, and remember your risk first and stay safe.